Hello my fishes, Courtney Mermaid here and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Widget the Mermaid's new mermaid tail. So I have actually received a lot of compliments and a lot of questions on this tail, and I want to thank all of you who have let me know that you really like it, you think it's one of my best. I think so too. I am quite pleased with how it turned out, and a huge shout out goes to Widget the Mermaid, who really encouraged me to step outside of my comfort zone with this one and really push things like the scale shape and the fin shape and the overall style and design. I think this one was definitely a very collaborative back and forth kind of a mermaid tail. Most of my tails are, and I thought I would just kind of maybe answer some questions and talk to you guys a little bit about the tail. So the tail itself features a couple of really unique things that I haven't really done before on other tails. Now the dorsal fin and the pec fins, of course, I've done before, but on this tail in particular, we have a couple of extra fins in the ankle area on the front and on the back, which I did specifically because this was meant to be a tail based off of a real fish, and because of the way that I designed the fins is such that you can't just have kind of one, because then it has to sort of lean in a direction, and it's a little bit strange, especially for like fish fins. For like a dorsal fin, and maybe it's a little bit different, but for this one, instead of just doing the single fins down the front and down the back like this particular salmon actually has, I opted to do two so I could really push the 3D kind of appearance and also to give it a bit of a more unique look, as I know this is not the only salmon mermaid tail out there, and since designing this tail, now I'm seeing them everywhere. But you know what, like I've said 1,001 times before, you can't really recreate the wheel, and salmon is a creature out there in the wild. It's not my creation, it's Mother Nature's creation, so let's all just enjoy it and create our own unique magic from that, shall we? Some people have asked, they're like, oh, are these sewn on? Are these extra fins? They are just that 3D. I spent a lot of time making sure that these suckers pop. So there's a lot of layers and a lot of different tricks and things that I've done to really make them look like they are separate from the tail, but they are in fact part of the print on the body of the tail. But yeah, in addition to those fins, this tail also features the very first of my custom scales. So something I had started doing was offering custom scale designs as well. The thing with having like preset design for your scales, it's great, and especially if maybe you're a larger brand and you want to have a global kind of look across all of your stuff. Now, because I'm the only designer that designs my tails, of course it's going to have a global look because it's all coming from my Cintiq pen. And I thought it was cool when Widget was like, oh, well, like, do you think we could do something a little different for the scale shape? And I was like, and we ended up, okay, this one scale, I tell you, it's so many layers, it's ridiculous. I've talked about this before in other videos, but I go into a stupid amount of detail for my scales, like probably more than even will ever show up in the print. And I'm not copying and pasting them off of fish. What I do is I go and I look at the species. So I went and I looked at a bunch of different salmon, close-up of their scales, and I still put my spin on it. I took like the different dimension and different textures and stuff, and I really tried to make it my own for this tail. And I think it turned out really well. These are also the smallest scales I have ever done on a mermaid tail. I can't believe how they look so little. They're so little, they're so cute. To have that effect, like when you're looking at fish, sometimes the patterning, wow, that bird just about flew at the window. But having such a small shape for the scale kind of gave the illusion that the patterning might have had more to do with the scales than just like drawn and painted on top. And sometimes I find when the scales are too big, it can kind of just look like, okay, this was just a paintbrush that went across the thing. It doesn't really look like it's integrated into the scales in a really organic way, which I think we always so much back and forth with the dots, all of the extra little dots and detailing. Like I really just wanted to get it right so that it had that really authentic salmon vibe. The tail also features a blended waistband, which blends up, and then I also, for the top, I opted to blend the bottom part of the top so that when she's wearing it, the top and then like stomach area all kind of blends, and then the base of the tail blends in. I've done this for a few different people, and sometimes I do it with skin color, and sometimes I just do it with the matching color of the bottom of the top of their tail, because not everybody wants the blended waistband, so sometimes I've done that before. So in terms of the color, it's not very often, but sometimes you'll get a client who would like colors that Pantone, because you have to print in Pantone colors. I talk about all of this, by the way, everything, making printed mermaid tails and all of that good stuff. I have a full ebook available at shopvancouvermermaid.com for you guys to check out, and I go through all of the steps how to make your own custom printed fabric mermaid tail. But the thing is, Pantone colors, guys, Pantone colors, and sometimes greens and blues and turquoise colors just, they're always a little bit grayer than you want. They always look a little bit less saturated than you want. And I was really fortunate with this tail that the colors that we were working with were all really nice Pantone colors. It was so good. They were all really juicy and really rich. And I feel like this tail shows up really well underwater. I've got some footage, and the pool was a bit murky that day because it had been a bit busy, and it was still quite busy while we were there. Despite all of that, it still shows up so nicely in the water. So happy. The amount of fringe is not the most amount of fringe, and it's not the least amount of fringe. It was a nice medium size amount of fringe that we chose to have at the base. I kept it more simple. I wanted to be more true to the actual fish itself, and I didn't want to have lots of extra little bitties at the bottom there. And the next question you're going to ask is, Courtney, which monofin does this tail use? And let me tell you, if it doesn't use the Finis Luna, oh, I tell you, I was so stoked. So Widget also loves and swears by the Finis Luna. If you're new and you're like, what even is this fin? This is the monofin to end all monofins. I swear by this thing. I've been using this monofin for about 3 years, probably getting on 4 years. I love this fin. You have no idea how comfortable this fin and how much fun it is to make tail skins for this monofin is actually really good. So if you are somebody who is looking to make your own mermaid tail and you're really interested in making your own, this is a really good, like, look at how simple this shape is. Look how simple. Even making the foot pocket at the bottom, despite the curves, like, it's so easy to do. So easy to do. I love working with this monofin because it folds, right? It goes into the tail skin really well. It comes out of the tail skin really well. And I think for this particular look, salmon are not like a real tropical fish. They don't need all the extra little bitties too much. Nice and simple. And so I feel like this monofin carries it really well. So I also made for Widget a matching pair of leggings. She might have worn them in my swimming video, which will be coming out after this video, so stay tuned for that to see her very first swim in her mermaid tail, which was really cool to be a part of, and really, like, it's really awesome when you got to work so closely with somebody and you know that that tail is going to make a difference in their life, and when you see them swim in it for the first time, and like, she was beaming like ear to ear the whole swim. It was so cute getting, like, seeing the video footage of her after the fact, because of course while I'm swimming I can't see for squat because I'm not wearing glasses and I can't see underwater, and spoiler alert, but it was so neat to look back and see how happy she was after the fact. So if you want to see the full swimming video, it's going up on Friday. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification as well so you don't miss out on that. If you guys are interested, at the moment there is a hiatus. Obviously, with everything going on in the world, I'm not able to order fabric and I'm not able to access my other suppliers or my printer or anything. So tails are on hold. However, like I said, if you guys are interested in learning how to make a mermaid tail, even if it's not printed, my ebook will still have all of the information on how to make a mermaid tail, like to your measurements and whatnot. And heck, you could start on a design now, and then by the time this is all over, you could be ready to go and print your tail, right? So that's over at shopvancouvermermaid.com. Be sure to check it out. Links, as always, will be in the description box down below. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the pod and the bell notification as well so you never miss an upload or that next swimming video, because I promise swimming videos are like going to be really hard to come by for the next little while, and I'm hoarding the last couple of ones that I have, but this one was just going to be too cute to not share, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, my fishes, I hope you are all staying safe and staying healthy. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video. Happy swimming! Bye!